social media because we know that social media is powerful. And what is it that makes social media so powerful? It's the engagement, right? It's the word of mouth that you get out of it. Makes sense. So the reason for that is because we know that word of mouth marketing represents probably close to about 50% of your referral, your revenue referrals. So what I want to do is help small business owners understand three things. People share three things. Now, I've heard some jokes, people share viruses and germs, excuse me. But people share mainly three things online. One, news. Two, experience, like genuine engagement. And number three, like memorable advertising, like guerrilla marketing or funny pictures and videos and stuff like that, right? Today, because I want to keep it really brief, I'm going to focus on just one of them. What I'm going to focus on is news, constant publicity. Now, there is, and check it out after this, but if you go to DIR Incorporated /PRISM, PRISM, there is a document you can download and you'll understand step number one. And I'm just going to kind of roll with you as far as how this document works. Step one, the first thing you want to do is you want to identify subjects that are worthy to your business. So every single business has a niche, right? We've got a bunch of marketers here, and every one of them has a unique niche. The reason why you do business with them is because you have a specific need that you need to have fit. Likewise, you're an author. We have other businesses here. What this sheet does is it basically has you go to a certain whatever platform you want to go to. So let's say you want to look at your Facebook page. You go on your Facebook page. You type in Facebook, you write Facebook on the form, and then you're going to go through and you're going to look at your last 100 posts. And from your 100 posts, you're going to look at what are the topics that people commented on, and the ones that seem to actually generate some sort of buzz that people are interested in. You're going to kind of just number 1 through 5. The 5 things that just seem to be really interesting to your audience. Okay? And you're going to list those 5 things in number of importance. Okay? So, but depending on what your business is, certain things are going to be more important than others. Excuse me. So you're going to write those down. And then below, the other thing you're going to do while you're going through those 100 posts is you're going to look at how many times you tried to sell something. Okay? Hopefully, the answer is only 1 out of every 100. But because they're intentionally try to sell. You sell on every post, but you intentionally try to sell something, push it. And there's a grading system on the bottom of this form that's going to show you how this whole thing works. There's a reason why we did this, and I'm going to go there. Step number 2, you're going to generate a list, a media list. All right. This is real simple. It's not as complicated as it sounds. Everybody here either reads the newspaper, a digital newspaper, you watch the news on TV, you read certain publications. You know your target audience does also. Okay? It may not be a trade magazine in whatever you sell. They may be somewhere else. You go, you check those out. This requires a little bit of work. And you try to understand the style of the reporter. Okay? Most reporters have a beat they have to cover, and they cover certain topics. So you may notice that there's a particular author that writes about new books that come out, or there could be an somebody that typically always writes about pets, whatever your thing is. I double dipped on you. You were right in front. I had to double dip on you. So you've got that going on. Once you have your list, you're obviously going to try to establish a relationship with these reporters. So first thing you do is you send them an email or a phone call, however it is that they tell you to contact them on their website or their publication. And say, hey, my name is Rob Rowan. I'm with DIR Incorporated. We represent XYZ company. And we were wondering if you had an editorial list. Just write that down, editorial calendar. They give you the calendar. What an editorial calendar is very simple. Any publication worth a grain of salt, let me say it this way. At the beginning of the year, they already know all the topics that are going to be covered for the whole year. So all you have to do is look at the editorial list and look at what topics fit your particular niche, right? Or whatever you can spin to fit a particular niche. Okay, so you got to be a little creative sometimes. So anyway, the next thing you're going to do is you are going to go back to your form that you have created with your top 5 topics. You're going to go through that editorial list and try to match them up, and then you're going to create 12 press releases about those things. Okay, so you've got a story idea. Now you have to create a press release about it. So somebody here, what business are you in?
Massage therapist.
What?
Massage therapist.
Massage therapist. Okay, what is something that is important to your audience?
Sports-related injury, auto accident recovery.
Okay, so local massage therapist teaches people how to avoid fill in the blank, right? There's your first press release.
Okay.
So you've got their release. Now you don't release them all at one shot. Okay. First of all, the first place you're going to go and most of the marketing guys here will tell you is PR log. Okay. Because if you go to PR Web, you could use that too. You get an extra 10,000 XML feeds with them, but it also costs you money with PR Log's free. So you go there. You set up your account, you set up your business profile, you add your employees on there, and then you submit your release. Now remember, it's a release, it's not an article. Okay, there's a difference. An article, you're telling this whole story. A release is a quick thing. This is what we're doing because you want that reporter to call you and write a story for you. Word of mouth marketing, that third-party referral, right? So, basically what you're going to do is you're going to obviously make sure all of your social media platforms are integrated together. Everybody understand when I say integrated, right? It's pretty simple. So you make sure all your sites are integrated together, and you are going to release your press release one at a time, all right, on a monthly basis. So whatever order of importance you put them, release number 1 goes out. Now check this out. There's another part of this that has to work. How many of you have a blog? All right, you have a blog. How many of you do a newsletter? Okay. So technically, you are also all authors, right, or writers. So you technically are also a form of media. So there's 2 sites. How many of you are familiar with Harrow? Helping out a reporter? Okay. How many of you are familiar with RC? Reporter Connection. All right. Those are 2 sites you want to definitely go in there as 2 ways. One, you want to sign up as a source, as a resource within your niche. See, what happens is reporters, whenever they're looking for a story, okay, and like the last minute, they look for sources to quote. Every day, you'll get an email in your inbox, morning, afternoon, morning, afternoon, and evening about a story that needs to be covered. Usually, a deadline between 24 hours and 72 hours. Okay, if you can answer it, answer it. If you can't answer it, maybe you know somebody who can, and you can send that to somebody, right? So that's another value add. And then you also, obviously, if you have your own blog story or whatever, or your own newsletter, when you're sharing your publication, you want to have a very small